Ow.
Ow. Ow, ow.
Ow.
Hey, one dead
Never
drunk.
mind.
Book good, book bad. What's going on, Jim?
I can't help but notice you're a little dressed up tonight.
Oh, I'm wearing a special shirt for a special reason.
You are. I feel a little slighted, but also...
No, I love you, but, he's my best friend.
Who is?
Huh?
What?
No, I don't know if you know this, ladies and gentlemen, but tonight we have a very special guest on One Dad, Drunk Dad, Book Good, Book Bad.
It's the third dad, and his name is Chris Petlak.
What's up, fellas?
Hello.
What's going on?
Dude.
How's it going, Chris?
Cheers, guys. This is great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just gonna hold this here for the rest of the night. Thanks for having me. This is great.
Thanks for agreeing to do this. Our hundreds of fans were...
I don't know that there was an agreement, but I'm here.
No, I told you it was happening.
You signed a contract, yeah?
I don't know. 10 minutes ago, I got an invitation. I got a link, and I clicked on it, and I was in here. Usually, it's some aggressively, inappropriate GIF, but tonight it's this.
That was this. The headline was "You won a prize," and then you click the link.
Do I fill out tax forms? No, I'm in.
Nope, that's it. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you since you moved back to Chicago.
Yeah, well, we were talking about doing a play date with the girls, and then play dates stopped being a thing we could do.
Right.
Right.
We're not at the point yet where it's like just chicken pox, where we could just get them all together. And...
Yeah. Do a party. No, we've had the weirdest experience because we moved back right before the holidays. We had the holidays, which it's like, family. It's like, family craze for a few weeks. And then shortly thereafter, we actually went to Australia.
Why did you go to Australia?
Let's not forget, also, Australia was on fire this year.
Yeah.
I brought that up in conversation, and it was like, oh, yeah, remember the time? Wow.
That was 5 years ago, wasn't it? 6 years ago? Oh, February.
No.
February this year? That's right. Okay.
Quarantine time starts to feel like dog years. But yeah, we came back, and then we went into lockdown, and here we are. But this is awesome. Jim, you didn't get the piano memo. We both have pianos.
I have one.
Yeah. I don't play this thing. This is like set dressing.
Yours is the nicest.
Is it? What do you
Oh,
have?
yeah. That has a microphone, too.
It does. It does. And
you know what I like the best about watching this show every night, or every Friday night? My favorite thing is knowing that Jim cleaned up behind himself and did that set decoration.
the dinosaur is staged. The rest of it is me shoveling my kid's shit out of the way.
The dinosaur is staged.
That's
What's
staged.
in the tent? What's in the tent tonight, Jim?
What's in the tent?
Tonight it's a pile of blankets and a pillow in the shape of Elsa. It's a scary Elsa. Hold.
Oh.
Talk about yourselves.
Scary Elsa.
What? That's a really great look for you, Jim.
She loves this.
Oh, that's like, remember we had those WWF ones?
Yes.
Oh.
But it just looks like her face got like hit by a car sideways.
Do you guys know the singer Andy Grammer?
Who?
Do you know the singer Andy Grammer?
Yeah.
Okay, this moment reminds me of him because he did an event once I was at, and my sister-in-law was like, he kind of looks like you in a microwave.
Yes. Yes.
And that looks like a Disney character that was like accidentally warmed up a little bit.
like somebody downloaded the clip art and then dragged it, and changed the ratio, and then was like, oh, shit, how do I undo? And then just hit print.
And then they're like, just shade her neck. It will make it all look normal.
It's like somebody lit a wick on top of her head and she just melted just slightly.
Yes.
That's how I describe my naked form. It's like a melted candle.
Mm-hmm.
That was rolled in dog hair.
This is gonna
basically. Yeah, get that out of there. Good Lord.
I don't want to see it anymore. Thank you.
No, I'm disappointed. But thanks for having me.
Books. Are we gonna read some books tonight, or what?
Read some books. So how should we do this? So Chris is the guest of honor. Would you like to kick off or defer? What would you like to do?
I mean, why don't one of you go and then I'll go in the middle?
Yep.
And then one of you close. Does that? Because it's your show. I'm just.
Rammel, why don't you lead us off?
Sounds
start
good.
with a nice book. Good.
Before we really get too far into this, just as a guest for the first time, I just want to point out that Rammel, that's a lovely shirt.
Oh, thank you.
We talked about it.
Good, man.
Wearing it special for you. Shut up.
And Jim, thanks for being here. All right.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, so this book is my book good. Where's My Teddy? And I sort of like this one because this is like the one book that we read at night that makes Winter laugh. So here we go. Where's My Teddy by Jez Alborough.
Made up.
He's off to find his teddy. Eddie's teddy is named Freddie. He lost him in the woods somewhere. My favorite line. It's dark and horrible in there. Help, said Eddie. I'm scared already. I want my bed. I want my teddy. He tiptoed on until something made him stop quite still. Look out, he thought. There's something there. What's that? A giant teddy bear. Is it Freddie? Said Eddie. What a surprise. How did you get to be this size? You're too big to huddle and cuddle, he said, and I'll never fit both of us into my bed. Yes?
Can you interrupt at all? Because I got questions on that line.
Okay.
Yeah, man. This is an open forum. This is a safe place.
First off, if I can look at the motif of the book at intermission.
There's no intermission.
We're taking you into the woods.
Yes.
And now we've met a character that's concerned we won't all fit in his bed. And this is your good book?
Yes. No, it's Eddie who's concerned about the big bear.
So the kid wants to bring the bear back.
Got it.
You didn't go into the middle of a horrible forest.
I
for a big bear to
apologize for the interruption. I will try to keep it steady. I am ready. I'm getting a little heady.
There we go. Let's go back to Eddie.
Then out of the darkness, clearer and clearer, the sound of sobbing came nearer and nearer. Soon the whole woods could hear the voice bawl. How did you get to be tiny and small? You're too small to huddle and cuddle, it said, and you'll only get lost in my giant-sized bed. It was a gigantic bear and a tiny teddy stomping toward the giant Teddy and Eddie. My Ted, gasped the bear. A bear, screamed Eddie. Oh boy, yelled the bear. My Teddy, cried Eddie.
So this is a classic switch up.
Yeah.
I see.
Then they ran through the dark woods, back to their homes as fast as they could. All the way back to their snuggly beds where they huddled and cuddled their own little Teds.
Cute.
Oh, thank you.
That's fantastic.
And I love that last image because they're both so terrified by the experience they had in the woods meeting each other. And Winter laughs and thinks it's so funny.
My favorite thing about children's books, and I don't know if you guys will agree, there's like if a book is 100% long, the first 70% is build up, and then they introduce a problem, and then they solve it by 80%, and then they're just home and safe.
Yeah, that's it. Go home, because go home is how you fix everything. That's
the writers of most films should take cues from these books.
Exposition for 75% of the movie, and then
just land the plane,
and then
just solve the problem in the fastest way possible.
This was the cure all along.
Oh, we've got a bunch of those.
Credits.
Back to the van.
Credits. Georgia Peach. Thank you.
Filmed in Georgia.
Is that the song?
Yeah.
Do you know what I also want to notate about this show is that you can actually track Rammel's hair growth, because when you started, he had like a buzzed head.
Yeah, you shaved your head.
Yeah.
That was like 4 weeks ago.
It feels like 3 days ago.
So now everybody's kids sleeping okay now? Like everybody's got good sleepers going? Are we?
Oh yeah, we're 100% at the now.
You had to go to like boot camp with Winter, right?
Because I remember you had some like sleeping issues maybe like 6 months ago. Did I make that up?
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago. We had some really severe sleeping issues, and because we were co-sleeping and we were living in a 1-bedroom at the time, and so like we'd put her down to bed and then like she would come sleep with us, and that was like the routine. And then like once we moved to this place, she started sleeping with us just period to go to sleep, and then that was like not possible to like even put her down for a nap.
It's like feeding a squirrel. As soon as you do, it's gonna come back. It's like, oh, this is where I go now.
Yeah, they churn so much they turn the milk into butter.
Anyway, we nipped it in the bud like a few weeks ago, and like the whole family has just been happier since then.
That's awesome.
I was really worried about it, but Jim sort of talked me through my own idiocy and helped me.
Not idiocy. I just said you need to look your kid in the eye and say, knock it the fuck off. Go sleep in your bed where mommy and daddy are going to leave.
I remember being able to...
Do you know where the goldfish are? I know you don't.
When this door closes, you don't know where I go.
I'm gone. I stop existing.
Yeah, that's awful.
Terrible.
Is Emily a good sleeper or what?
Yeah, we knock on wood. She sleeps really well, so she's asleep right now.
Your kid is kind of absurdly, it's just absurd. Like
she's absurdly absurd.
Smiles all the time and giggles all the time, and I'm sure she cries. I've seen her cry.
Yeah.
Like even she gets bored of crying, it seems. After she's like, I'm sad. I don't want to do that.
There's this I don't know if you guys had this, but when she was like 3 months old, this little slot appeared on her back, and you put quarters in it, and she just smiles and plays. So since we figured that out, I just get rolls of quarters.
No,
it's like doing laundry in college.
Kind of absurd. And then she has your wife to like dress her, and I'm like, this kid. Look at this kid.
The stylish baby. She's a stylish
baby.
Yeah.
I am jealous of that Jams onesie, and I feel like they got a little screwed over there. Yeah.
Well, I
gave that to make you feel even worse. It was a gift from your co-host.
It was. And earlier in the broadcast, we can go back. Rammel mentioned that Chris was Rammel's best friend. So I give gifts to my best friends. They'd appreciate.
I see.
I thought we had a reason
Rammel said that we're best friends is because we're sharing a closet right now. Hence the looks that we both have.
Look at this.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
Oh,
this is.
Well, there she is.
It's my mother.
Oh yeah,
that's Winter.
Yeah, we give those out. We give our icons out to people who listen. People who
download those at our website, which based on the title of the show is longer than a browser.
Pictures of our kids, if you're interested.
Dad books, dad's drunk, dad/com +.
Yeah, earlier before it live, Chris was like, "You should make a podcast," and I'm like, "Nothing about this is marketable. We do this show for each other
and for Carly."
And
is Carly here?
Carly's allegedly watching, but
her husband's
very silent, so she might be napping.
Oh man!
Carly talked a big game about being able to stay up late.
Gotta get her sleep.
She apparently has some job that starts at 3 a.m.
What?
I don't know. To hear her tell it, who knows?
I'm actually looking at the Facebook page for the show as we're doing this, going, well, where is everybody? All right, I see him. I see you guys out there. I'm going to like some comments.
So, Chris, why don't you take us through your book good or your book bad? Oh, hey, yo.
Hey.
Hey!
Now the show can start.
I'm so bad at this part, like pointing where things are.
Yeah, because it's mirrored.
It's just the opposite.
Yeah.
This is you, right?
This is Carly. Anyway, okay, so let me start with the good book.
The webpage. Yeah, man.
Because I feel like we go right here first, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Tonight I will be presenting you all with What Daddy's Like. Now here's the reason why I chose this book, and I'm going to give you some backstory. We're going to come upon a portion of this book, which similarly to what Rammel said about Winter, Everly, our daughter, who is 13 months old, like loves a part of this book, and she will actively select it from the bookshelf so that you can read it. Which, because it's a book about daddies, I take the victory on that every time.
As you said.
Also, that's a to scale rendering of me.
Yep.
And that's everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you have this better.
I have that Argyle. Now, my struggle is I would never pair these two. I would never put that Argyle on those Slack, but I can respect what he's trying to do.
Sure.
Everly looks cute, though. So this is by Judy Carey Nevin. It's illustrated by Stephanie Six.
Whoa.
I know, it's kind of a hard name. I think she did some time. Oh, my friend Shannon's watching. She just texted me. She's watching with her daughter, Emerson. Hi, guys. Thanks for watching. They're in California.
Oh, it's earlier there.
It is. So this is called What Daddy's Like, and this is one of my favorite books. All right, here we go. What Daddy's Like. My favorite part about this book is Daddy's like smooches. And then we do smooches. So you can play along while you read it, which is the best part. Daddy's like hugs. And then you get to give your daughter a hug, which is like, this is the bonus of this whole book. It's like choose your own adventure in real life. Daddy's like good morning to you. Now, my favorite part about this is this daddy also likes just covering his pancake in syrup.
A crap load of syrup.
The struggle is it's a pancake that's shaped like his own face. So I also am under the assumption that this is a grapefruit.
Yeah. And he looks like he's pouring the syrup out of like a Canadian bottle of Tide.
Right. He also is like kind of quietly baller, just like holding his coffee and sort of barely paying attention to this syrup pour. And in this moment, the child is like, can I get some of that syrup? Because I'm just over here waiting.
Hold on. What do daddies like? They like holding coffee and syrup in both hands.
Also, for those keeping track, no bib on that baby. No high chair strap. And just loose glass within reach?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Questionable.
Daddy's like good morning to you. Daddy's like adventures.
Oh.
Heck yeah, we do. Daddy's like swings, which is my next summer project. We're going to build a play set in the backyard, like in coming weeks.
Out of playset parts or out of like a tree?
Out of wood. We found plans for a play set online. You can Google them, or you can buy plans on Etsy. So you can go on Etsy, and for like $5 to $10, you can buy the plans for a play set, and then it will give you some of the nicer ones from Etsy. It's like a $10 plan book, and it gives you the list of what you have to order, and then you order it, and then it tells you what you need to build it. So you need like we have a table saw, I have a jigsaw.
You're just gonna go buy like a lumber.
Yeah, and I'm going to build a playset.
I mean this in the nicest way, Chris. Are you handsy?
Yeah. Now I'm pretty handsy.
Oh. Okay.
To be fair, yeah. Like
I don't want to be. These are well moisturized, but they know how to work. They know how to work.
Yeah. You just don't seem Hans Woodsman.
Well,
Woodsy? Are you woodsy? Are you gonna chop down the logs?
Scott Woldman in the house. Sorry, I'm just noticing this.
He is. What's Scott have to say? Hi to Carly. This show is we're gonna give her the keys. Actually, it's supposed to be her show.
My mortgage guy is here, Aaron. That's not a joke. That's a real. Aaron, please just give the people what they want. Give them the best.
We'll get there, Aaron. Also, I need you to get me a rate under 3% because
okay, this is your guy. No jokes. That's your guy. If you that's your guy. I'm not kidding. He's the man.
I'm gonna put my social security number into the comments. Aaron,
not to get too bad, but we're in the middle of a refi right now, and my man Aaron hooked it up. This dude hooked it up. This is like a whole just dad parent.
He did. I think Rammel meant to say handy.
Oh, but Shannon knows. I'm also handsy, and Rammel knows that too.
Yeah, we hugged a lot during the jams.
Yeah, and these are actually registered.
If you could somehow like build your swing set while making me feel physically uncomfortable, you would be handy and handsy. You'd be, well, I guess a combination of handsy.
I don't know if you guys remember in the Midwest, there was a hardware store called Handy Andy. You guys remember that one? My dad's name is
Andy. That's you.
No, but my dad's name is Andy. So when we were kids, we thought Handy Andy was his store. Like we thought the store only existed for our dad to go buy stuff, and he's very handy.
And a little handy. All right.
Daddy's like swings. We've established.
Daddy's like buying their swing plans on Etsy.
Daddy's like playing kangaroo. But when we read it, I go, Daddy's like playing kangaroo. And then we bounce on the rocket. Yeah. Come on.
What are these animals?
At this point, they revealed the child is a mutant and it's multiplied.
What are those, Chris? Are those bears or are those like badgers?
To be honest, they're
amorphous blobs.
They're sort of animal ambiguous.
Okay.
They get cast like our friend Rochelle. Daddy's like monsters. Okay, and this is my favorite part of this book. Daddy's like roars, because at this point, you open to this page, and Everly, a 13-month-old, just instantly goes, roar! She will grab this book and just do this. Like, you'll be holding it to read it, and she'll be like, roar!
Amazing.
Daddy's like quiet time, too. Truer words have never been spoken.
Correct.
And to me, this is a learning moment. Like, I'm hitting her with this now.
You tell her.
Us walking into her play set in Sunset. Daddy's like splashes. Daddy's like boats. This is just a lot of aggressive bath playtime. There's a lot of water happening here.
Yep.
That would make me a little, I would just be nervous about the mess, but that's okay.
Yeah. Because daddies don't like having to retile.
No.
Daddies don't like drowning either.
Now, most daddies like boats, but I know Jim gets seasick, so I'm not sure that would be his.
Yeah, we don't need to call it out. It's true, though.
Daddy's like, peekaboo. And then at this point, we do this. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. See? It's fun for everybody. Daddy's like jammies. Daddy's like stars. I love both of those things equally.
Yeah.
Pajamas and the celestial bodies known as stars.
Daddy's like nightlights, it's true. And at this point, we introduce murder because we've caught lightning bugs in a jar. There's no air holes punched in the jar. No. So clearly all that's going to happen, about 6 hours from this photo being taken, those 6 bugs are dead.
Might be catch and release.
Fingers crossed. Daddy's like snuggles. Again, a great opportunity to snuggle. Mm-hmm. And then Daddy's like sleep. And what I like about this is it introduces the idea that shortly you're going to go to sleep. You know what I mean? So it gets in her mind. She's like, oh, it's what I find works best with a 13-month-old is you make it appear that it was her idea in the first place.
You look sleepy.
True.
And most of all, Daddy's like, I love you. Now, Everly can't quite speak yet. Like, she says words, but she doesn't necessarily associate them. And Amy and I were just having this conversation that we're very close to the day when she'll be able to just say, like, I love you. And I think we'll both just die when that happens. Like, we'll just stop existing. I've heard Lane say it to Jim and just like offhand. I don't know, is Winter saying like full sentences yet?
She's saying subject and predicate, and she'll say 3-syllable words and lots of stuff. I love you is not like in the automatic vocabulary. We have to say it to her first.
Got it.
But Good night has been killing me a lot. We've gotten a lot of. I'll say I love you. Have a good night, and then close the door. And as I'm closing the door, like as the light like goes away from her face, she'll say good night, and then it's like it destroys me every time. And I tell Anna, it's like every time.
I like the idea that you're signing off with an 18-month-old going, "Have a good night," as if you're leaving a restaurant and like
this is your dad saying until the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Maybe I'll be here when you wake up. I'll see you later.
Just like signing off of a 1950s television station.
Yeah. I'm Edward R. Murrow, actually.
I feel your book good was book good. I feel like it punted the ending. I feel like most of all, Daddy's Love You would be.
Yes.
Well, it was Daddy's Like I Love You.
But what the fuck? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is that? Most of all, Daddy's like, I love you.
I think what this book is doing, if you read it with a separate thought in mind, it's just telling the child what to do. Daddy's like smooches. Oh, I should give my dad smooches.
Right.
Right. And then by the end, Daddy's like, I love you. Oh, I should tell my daddy I love him. You know what I mean?
Smart.
So I think what I'm really doing is just planting seeds in her mind.
For what? For what?
To say I love you to me before she says it to Amy.
All right. Syrup, quiet time, I love you. Those are all the things I do.
Before Lane said I love you, I taught her Daddy told a joke, and she would go ha ha ha. And that actually made me
only a fucking actor, writer, comedian would be like, I need gratification from you. That is why I had sex with your mother, so that I could have you arrive and be my key audience.
The first like 3 things I taught her were it was like Daddy told a joke, and she goes ha ha ha. I asked her to do Mick Jagger, and she would be like, and like my mother-in-law was like, why aren't you teaching her the alphabet? I'm like, there's time for that.
Yeah, don't worry.
She's
I
only
need her to go, Daddy looks good in slim fit jeans. Like, thanks, Lane. Appreciate it.
She's only this like pudgy and little, and it's funny. Leave me alone.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to teach Winter. It's like, Daddy, you're not wasting your life. Stuff like that.
All right. I think it's time.
He says to 2 other dudes at 9:43 on a Friday, reading books to the internet to Carly. Holy no, it's funny. All right, you guys want to hear a bad book?
I do.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to a book we like to call Baby Loves Gravity.
You told me about this before we started, and I forgot. And
I know nothing about this book. I don't think I want to know any more about this book.
All right, this book is written by Ruth Spiro. And it's illustrated by Irene Chan. Now, I didn't even connect that.
I mean, I didn't. None of my.
You don't know Rammel. Yeah, Rammel doesn't know Irene. So, for all we know. All right.
This sounds like a book. Well, go ahead. You go with it.
This was like a batch buy. You know how like, we gotta get some more books. We're running through these. So this was in a batch that we just got maybe like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
I just have we'll get into it. Okay. Baby Loves Gravity. All right. Baby drops a noodle. Plop. And now it's like a textbook because we've got like, this is what happens when the baby drops the noodle. And he's sort of excited about the noodle.
Also, if at this point in the child's life she hasn't had the idea to throw shit on the floor,
right?
You're introducing like
now I'm showing her, and she's got no trouble doing that.
Noodles go plop.
Our dog has gotten aggressively fat because of our daughter.
Yeah,
because he'll sit under her high chair and just be like, "This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome."
Roscoe has put on the COVID-19.
Oh, God, poor guy. All right, so baby drops a noodle. Plop. And then we introduce the idea. Puppy gobbles it up. Well, boy, isn't that true? Because that's and now we're asking a 13-month-old to question science. Why does the noodle fall?
Objects have mass.
Have you read this book?
No, is that what comes next?
Oh, Jim.
I just know science.
That's
Because
insane.
of gravity. Okay, so now so far we're okay, right? It's gravity. But now he's having too much fun. He's recognized if I drop this noodle, this little guy is going to get,
Diabetes.
All right, and here's where I start to have trouble. Everything is made of matter. The amount of matter is mass.
Yeah.
Called mass, right? But then we just go, baby, more mass. Puppy, less mass. But that's not like a real sentence or anything. That's just like, we're just saying, they just grouped words together. And then all of a sudden, let's go from these two, we're just going to introduce Earth.
Earth. Also, not a given. Our existing, my kid's 3, and if you put a golden retriever next to her,
Rammel weighs twice as much as Everly.
Right.
So already, this book is a lie. Okay. So we've introduced that. Also, nowhere in here did we explain that you're on Earth. And it's
this goes 0 to
galaxy.
It goes from like, noodles, So the universe is constantly expanding and goes all the way back to a single point of explosion energy that goes outward.
As Emerson says, it should be called Dogs Love Gravity. I'll tell you what, Roscoe does, and so does his diet. All right. Earth, lots more mass. Like, thanks. Mass makes two objects pull together. This pull is called gravity. This suggests, this is a baby book, Carly. This suggests that at some point the child and the dog will come together.
Right? Like the gravity between, like, it's imperceptible. Don't introduce this.
Well, so I mean, like in a vacuum, right? Like if there was a dog and a baby.
Hold on, a dead dog and a dead baby, because you just put them in a vacuum.
Put them in a vacuum. Yeah, thanks, buddy. No, I'm sad.
It would come together. It's not a lie.
Great.
I think this is a descent.
But they're not in a vacuum. That kid's sitting on the floor. That kid is on the floor, and the dog is on the floor. And now you're trying to explain. And if I'm a kid with limited vocabulary, all I see is pull the dog.
Right. So I'm like reading this to her the first time, and I read it to her blind. I just opened, I cracked the spine on this bad boy for the first time. I'm like, what? All right. The Earth has a lot of mass. So it has a strong pull.
Yep.
Strong pull.
None of that is scale.
These idiots are dead.
Why does that America have 2 Floridas?
Yeah, not to mention, no offense, Irene, but didn't really consult the internet when drawing this.
Chesapeake Bay is the largest body of water on the planet.
You know how many pictures of America I've ever seen? A lot, and none of them look like this.
This is Florida. This is West Florida.
And then
I mean,
to the publisher.
To be fair, Chinese, not really accurate.
When baby drops something, the Earth pulls it down. This suggests that it's like a magnet, that it's just like sucking everything off.
Right.
The baby likes to test this. Puppy likes to help. And then we just say slurp. I get it. He's eating the noodle. But now we're back to the beginning where we started.
And you've gone into like Einstein's theory of relativity, so you have to keep adding noises so that you have to go remember slurp. And
then they just casually suggest the idea that if you drop a slice of apple and a pea, they'll land at the same time. But they don't talk about it. They just draw arrows.
It's true.
This page right here is the reason I wanted to read this book tonight as my bad book. This section. Gravity is everywhere. Okay, so then it goes moon, less mass. It introduces the moon. Earth, more mass. Okay, it makes the moon go around the Earth. And, okay, gravity is everywhere, period. Moon, it makes the Earth go around, the moon go around the Earth, and then you introduce the sun with a lot of mass, and then just the Earth go around the sun. It's just sort of the way that it's put together. It's not done like a comic book that you would follow like normally.
Yeah, it is all over the place.
Also, it looks like the sun has 78 moons.
Correct. And then based on this drawing, and then this, it looks like they pulsate. Like they just
Right.
It looks like they're all falling in to the sun, which is kind of horrifying too.
right.
When in reality, the sun is actually slowly getting so large it's going to swallow us whole in 4 billion years. Good night, Everly.
That's it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Godspeed. Turn on the air conditioner. All right. Gravity's even at the park. Okay. Baby climbs up. Oh, he's over here. And gravity helps him down. Whee! Baby loves gravity. I don't disagree with the goal of the book. The goal of the book is to introduce the idea of science and reasoning to a child.
Yes.
I just think it's constructed poorly. I have concerns.
It's too young. It's too. So we have a board book when Lane was that age, and it was the planets, and it was one of my favorite ones because it was one of her favorite ones, and it was like the solar system in order, and it's like, this is Mercury. I'll read it next week because it's a book good. I'll go find it. But like it's like one little fact about like this is Earth. We live on Earth. Like, and so by the 5th time we read it, she would be like, Saturn? And you're like, yeah, Saturn. Like so you like are teaching her the solar system. But I'm not explaining to her like theory, like advanced theories of what holds it together. And I'm not like, noodles? You know noodles, right? Turns out noodles are a lot like the universe.
Maybe it's shame on me because maybe we're supposed to read the book, and then when we're living, I'm supposed to like remind her that this is gravity.
No, you
but
don't.
Right now, I'm trying to get her to not roll off the changing table. So like, I'm not concerned. That's where I'll teach gravity. I'll be like, nope, you got to stay up here.
You don't need to teach gravity principles until junior high.
I'll go a step beyond that.
She doesn't need to know why you will fall. All she needs to know is if you fall, it hurts. That's it.
Here's what I remember. When I was about 13 or so years old, I'd learned what gravity was, and I came to the conclusion that it was made up. And if I could trick myself into believing the truth, which is that gravity was made up, and it's in my head, then I'd be able to fly. So if I could convince myself that gravity was a thing they convinced me is here, but it's not really, and I need to untrain my brain, I could fly. And it didn't work.
I had a dream when I was 6. And as I'm saying it out loud, it's going to sound more damaging than it was. But I dreamt when I was 6 that I got shot in a convenience store robbery. And I lied on the ground with my eyes open. And I was like, as long as I don't close my eyes, I will live forever.
Well, yeah, that happens in like every war movie.
What's that?
In every war movie, they're like, keep looking at me, Johnny. Keep looking at me.
Yeah.
First of all, I watched way age inappropriate shit because we had HBO and nobody was watching me. So I probably watched like a war movie when I was 5. No. Anyway. And then at some point, like shortly after, I saw like a war movie where a guy was like, I'm not ready to go, Bill. I'm not ready to. And I was like, oh no, you could die with your eyes open. My theory is wrong.
Dude, I remember, to bring this full circle, you were talking about co-sleeping at the beginning of the show. Oh, hey, Susan's here.
Shots fired.
She's not wrong.
Shots fired.
You got caught in the shots fired. Anyway, I was maybe 6 or so, and I was having trouble sleeping, so I went into my parents' room, and I crawled into their bed in between the two of them. And my mom woke up and was like, oh, dude. My mom woke up and was like, oh, you're here. Okay, you can sleep here. So I'm laying there staring at the ceiling, and I see my mom close her eyes to go to sleep. And I was like, hold up.
Yes.
You can close your eyes and then fall asleep? Because to that point that I remember, I was just staring
at the ceiling.
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I was supposed to close my eyes.
I remember actively having that revelation that, like, if I close my eyes, then when I fall asleep, my eyes will already be closed. And that's one less thing to do.
never thought. I never thought of that. I never thought of that at all.
Well,
Boy,
you're
I
a
always close
superior
my eyes.
human.
No. We had too much energy. We had too much
I
energy.
remember legitimately just staring at the ceiling, imagining Spider-Man swinging around the ceiling, just being like, "This is cool."
And now I watch my
So
daughter.
you have to lay in bed and keep your eyes open and wait for sleep to take you.
Yes.
And then your eyes close.
That's the only way I thought it was possible.
I didn't know that baby loved gravity yet, so I had no sense.
So
I remember yelling this revelation to my parents in the next room from my childhood bed, being like, "Mom! Mom!" She was like, "What?" And I'm like, "If you close your eyes, they'll be closed when you sleep." And she's like, go to what?
Every night now, as I rock Everly to sleep, I just whisper like, "If you close your eyes, you'll get there faster." Just so she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
Well, anyway, those are my books.
Good job, man.
Great books.
I hope that was all right. I hope that was.
And I've never heard either of those, like, which is rare for because I feel like there's 8 board books and you get them all.
No, we were doing Goodnight Moon, like, boom. And then Amy and I started playing a game where we lay on the ground while, like, Everly, between her bath and bed, we'll have like last minute playtime in her nursery, and she'll be like crawling around us and stuff. And we'll try to each recite one of her books back to the other, like by memory. Can you read one of these books? And we'll each just try.
Yeah.
Goodnight Moon is like done, and then there's another one about sheep, which her grandparents gave her. It's a great book. She loves it, but it's like all a rhyme, and so you have to like remember your way through it. Anyway, it's boring.
We started like stopping at the end of like rhyming couplets with Winter, and she'll finish the sentence. You ever do this with Lane?
Yeah, Lane. She's kind of a freak. I love her. I'm realizing this, and it's so my mom used to brag about my like memory as a kid.
Are you going to tell the dragon story?
Which dragon story? Yeah, I will tell the dragon story. So my mom used to brag. My mom brags about everything, right? Like my mom's like, you were special, and I'm like, yeah, but like all babies are special, right? But she would talk about my memory, and I was like, yeah, and I have a good memory. Like I have a really, it's not photographic, but I can retain shit easily. My daughter is freaking me out at the level of retention she has and the detail that she has it. So like we watched Sleeping Beauty in like a month ago for the first time ever. And I was putting her to bed, and she was like, Sleeping Beauty, and there was Maleficent, and there was the dragon, and the dragon lives at Mr. Chris's house. I was like, what? And she's like, the dragon, there's the dragon at Mr. Chris's house. And my cousin is also named Chris. And we had just been at Chris's house like 2 nights ago. I'm like,
he's a lesser than.
I'm like, you talking about Uncle Chris? She's like, no. She got mad. She's like, no.
Grab you by the shirt collar and slap you around a little bit?
Mr. Chris has dragon. And I was like, what? She's like, Mr. Chris has dragon as TV. And I was like, go to bed. And so then like the next day, we were talking about it again, and like I FaceTimed him, and she was just like, Mr. Chris has dragon. Mr. Chris has dragon. Like we FaceTime Chris. Chris goes to his TV stand, which we had been in their house 6 months earlier. He opens the fucking TV stand, goes through his DVDs, and like it's the Beauty and the Beast or the Sleeping Beauty.
Literally, like she was like, nope, yeah,
nope,
that one. I'm like,
and you look at it, and in the front is Sleeping Beauty, and it's like Aurora and the flower, and she's like, no, and he flips it over, and it's the dragon. She's like, yep, and I'm like,
weird.
Yeah,
I was like so amazed to be even the smallest part of this experience, because she literally was like, nope, yep, that one. I pulled it out. She's like, told you. I was like, what?
Also, I gave Chris none of this context. I FaceTime him. I'm like, dude, go to your TV. And he's like, okay. I need you and my 3-year-old to go into your TV stand.
Well, he was like, hey, Lane wants to talk to you. She's like, hi, Mr. Chris, can you go to your TV? I'm like, yep, I'm on my way. Everything's like, here we go.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So we got Hair Love. Remember we did Hair Love like 2 weeks ago? She's reading Hair Love to us now. Verbatim. She's I mean, like, yes, she like her memory, like we showed her pictures of our trip to Disney last year when she was 2, and so she's like, I went to Disney, and we're like, yeah, and there's a picture of her with headphones on, like holding a tablet, and she's like, oh, I watched the tablet, and we're like, yeah, she's like, I watched Daniel Tiger Goes to the Potty, and I was like, holy shit, that is the episode of Daniel Tiger you watched, and it's not in the picture. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, no, you actually remember that from a year ago.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's insane.
She's gonna be good at school just because school's stupid. It's just memory.
Or she'll just memorize school and then like go to the mall and goof around all day.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Then come with A's, and you'll be like, I don't know.
This is a skill that you need to harness in her. Like, have her memorize like credit card numbers and social security numbers, and then have her tell you again.
Like, why don't you
go?
Now
you can start,
look at grandma's purse and see.
Have you thought about putting like CIA puzzles in front of her and stuff? You remember that movie with that kid that was like he cracked the CIA code because they hid it in the New York Times crossword for some dumb reason? This was a movie. Do you remember this movie?
No.
Bruce Willis is in it. The kid like cracked some code, and they were like, "Why was it in a crossword?" And I'm pretty sure they never solved that. They just needed like an inciting incident for this movie.
The answer
kid who was in everything in the '90s. I don't know his name.
She's blank check.
Is it?
No, I don't think so.
She still has it's still like 70% accurate. So it's like, I'll be like, what letter is this? She's like, U. And I'm like, yes. She's like, what letter is this? And she'll be like, B. And I'm like, yes. What letter is this? And she'll be like, Apple. I'm like, oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Moving along. We'll cut that in the edit. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll get rid of that. We'll get that.
I like you have tickers at the ready.
All right, let's take this thing home. We did a book good, a book good, a book bad, and a book bad. Now my book bad is Clifford Fights a Hurricane or whatever.
Dude, I think I know this from my childhood.
So were you a Clifford kid?
Yeah, we had some Cliffords in the house for sure. We also had we had books about the superheroes that clearly weren't sanctioned books about the superheroes. It was like Spider-Man Takes the Bus or something like that. And it was like a very rudimentary Spider-Man, but like, oh, that's my stop. And then you'd think like, he doesn't need the bus.
They didn't pay for this. Spider guy saves the day.
It's like, wait a second. His suit would be blue where it's supposed to be red, and then red where it's supposed to be blue, and then be like, oh, that's copyright. Don't worry.
I didn't read Clifford's as a kid. I remember like other kids when it was, Scholastic Book Fair Day, being like, yo, there's a new Clifford dropping today. And I was like, I don't know.
Do you remember getting that like catalog? Did you guys get that at school?
The like 4-page newspaper print.
Yeah, it was like the Scholastic Books catalog, and they had it based on like, it was like K through 3, and then like, and you could pick books. But there was always a section that had like 4 toys.
Yeah.
It'd be like yo-yos, and then a book about how to yo-yo, and then like make goo, and then like a little jar of goo. I'd be like, yeah, I need that. I need this. I need
the $7.99 one, Mom. There's a meme on the internet that's like me walking into the Scholastic Book Fair with a $10 bill, and it's like Ted DiBiase from WWF back in the day. It's like like suspenders and $1 million in your hands. So I didn't read Clifford as a kid. I've read a bunch of Clifford Solane, and they're fine. They're fine. Like, I have no beef with Clifford books so far. And then I read this one and was like, this one's all the way wrong. This is Clifford versus the Hurricane for some reason. And he does none of the things that you're supposed to do. Let's read it, shall we?
Also, if you cut him out of that title photo and you make a GIF out of him backing that ass up, you're going to be internet famous, man.
Yeah. Correct. All right, Clifford. Oh, and check out this immediate action shot.
That is
Clifford.
insane. How big is this dog supposed to be?
We talked about this before. We talked about this off air. Clifford the Big Red Dog is not unlike Michael Bay's Transformers, where it's a Camaro and a Camaro-sized Camaro, and then it goes doo 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 doo. It's a 40-story building, and you're like, that doesn't. There's no consistency there. Go get Baby Loves Gravity. It will tell you that objects have mass. And they're made of matter, and matter cannot be created or destroyed, only changed. Where do we create so much matter?
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I grabbed Baby Loves Gravity when I said that. I never realized there was a dedication on the back of it.
Ooh, read it.
For my grandparents who always helped me up when I fell down.
like
I don't mean to disregard her. Oh. But I kind of do. That's just great. That's like she wrote this whole book for that joke. Like, bless her. Oh.
Like, as if to suggest the only reason I fell as a child was because I did not understand gravity. I would like to prevent your toddler from falling.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry. All right.
Yes, Rammel brought this up. The fact that, like, the Hulk is how big is the Hulk?
Well, Ang Lee's Hulk grew when he got angry and shot, which was also not canon. So,
He got way bigger when he was shot. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you know.
So there's a lot of that going on in this. All right, here we go. Clifford and the Big Storm, or Clifford Fights a Hurricane, or whatever. Hi, I'm Emily Elizabeth. Have you met my dog, Clifford? We've met. We have some exciting adventures together. Last summer, he took me to the seashore to visit my grandma. This is her grandma with prime beachfront property, the only one, apparently. Just built her house off the beach.
Also, like, the kid is riding Clifford.
Oh, yeah. Like, my dog took me. Yeah. Clifford loves the ocean. It's big enough for him to swim in. He watched my friends and me build castles in the sand. I read this for the first time a couple days ago. I'm like, great, this is all standard Clifford fare. Clifford built one too. Clifford's castle's bigger.
So he's also a genius.
Oh, he's
like,
a very
right. Like he has human characteristics beyond size.
Not only is he an enormously like gargantuan dog, but he is a brilliant sentient dog with a mind.
If we wanted you a castle, child.
Copyright this. I'm saying copyright. I'm saying copyright, so no one can steal this. If we wanted to workshop like a live action Clifford movie, the bad guys would be the government trying to capture the dog to study it. You know what I mean?
And the dog would be played by Andy Serkis.
He would.
With just
I'd hire Andy Serkis to play this dog.
There'd be some sad.
He would play every role in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Andy Serkis as Emily Elizabeth. All right. Then we wanted to go fishing. There was no room for us on the pier. But that didn't matter because we had Clifford.
Oh boy.
Right. One day, here we go. Here's where shit gets real. One day, we couldn't go swimming or fishing. We heard that a big storm was coming up the coast. Okay. The police told everybody along the shore, hey, woman who built your house.
Hey, lady.
This is a national park.
Lady, it's going to get windy.
Lady. The police told everybody along the shore to leave for a safer place. Grandma hated to leave her little home.
Is that why Clifford's pooping on it?
Mm-hmm.
That is a full-on Clifford poop pose right there. Don't tell me otherwise.
Clifford took us away from the beach to a high school gym. I look at just Clifford like flying, like this is like gridlock traffic. And this is like Act 1 of Independence Day, where like we gotta go. Clifford's just hauling ass.
My problem with the plot at this point is that we've already introduced that he can build like playlands out of sand for humans.
Yeah.
So why is he taking them to the high school gym? Why doesn't he just build them?
Wait for it, man. Book's not over.
Okay.
We would be safe there, but Clifford knew that Grandma was worried about her house. So far we're like following storm procedure. There's a storm coming. We need to all go to a safe place. You might worry about your shit, but you just let it go because you don't go back into the burning building for a backpack. That's like what you're told as a kid, right? But Clifford, who by the way is outside, good luck, dog. Clifford knew that Grandma was worried about her house. So he hurried back to the beach. The wind and the rain could not stop him. Look at him. Look at him. Just going back into the hurricane. The storm was bad. Trees were falling down. Check out that raunchy ocean wave that just obeys the beach line perfectly. Big waves were crashing up on the shore. Grandma's house was in danger.
Oh no.
Clifford had to do something. So first he picked up some of the fallen trees. Look at this. These are like 50-year-old oak trees. Clifford has 4 of them.
He also got stoned like before he did.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. He was like, hang on. Let me hit this.
He piled the trees in back of Grandma's house and covered them with sand. The sand pile would block the waves. Lane stopped me and was like, Daddy, what's he doing? And I'm like, he's digging. He's digging from 50 yards out and rocketing it over the house onto his tree pile.
I think my concern at this point is the grass wouldn't grow that green if it were on a bed of sand. So
Sure. Yeah, no.
There's the writer and the illustrator didn't really connect.
No.
He's also destroying somebody else's property at this point.
Also correct. First of all, yeah.
Bill's comment makes me think of Jurassic Park when Jeff Goldblum's like, you are going to wash your hands before eating, right?
So while Clifford was packing down the sand, he saw a bolt of lightning hit the lighthouse.
Whoa.
More property damage. Doesn't matter. It's a lighthouse. The lighthouse began to burn. Clifford knew just what to do.
Oh.
Whoosh. So he drinks a bunch of ocean water and spits it out. Whoosh. The fire was out. This is the only part where I'm like at some point a story editor was like, you got a dog handling property damage. So this story sucks. And then they added this page. Then over the roar of the storm, Clifford heard another sound. It was 2 puppies. They were scared. So Clifford reached the puppies just in time. Okay. First of all, these puppies got washed in from the ocean. So this doghouse is on an oil rig somewhere.
Yeah. They're alive, literally saved. They're back on land now.
Yeah, they're good.
Right. Well, anyway, he saved them and put them right next to the burning lighthouse.
Hey, yeah, I just put this fire out. You guys are going to love it over here.
You guys will be fine. I'm just going to put this 8 pounds of wood right here in the middle of a hurricane. You'll be fine.
You guys know what fall smells like? This.
He made sure his new friends were safe. Then he ran back to Grandma's. Oh, no. There was more trouble. 2 boats were loose in the waves. They were about to crash. I mean, like, what?
Also, boats don't get loose in waves. That's what they want. They want water.
Right. You mean to say that the captains are dead? These boats are loose.
If you zoom in on both of those, there's like a quartet on each one just playing.
Yeah, the dude from Titanic. Is there a person? No, it's not a person. That's just a wheel. So, like, I don't even know what this picture is anymore. This is a house. This is the dog. These are boats. Like nothing fits. Like the scale is not to scale. Not to scale.
Right. I'm trying to understand the architecture of that house.
Yeah. 2 boats were loose in the waves. They were about to crash. Clifford brought them safely ashore.
Exactly what they wanted for their boats. Too.
Yeah.
Hey,
You want to be on the highway, right?
On the beach. I want to park my boat in its yard.
The waves kept getting bigger. Clifford was afraid the sand pile would be washed away. He lay down to guard the house. What would happen next?
I don't know, Clifford, maybe your 2 tons of weight would push the sand down.
Oh, I forgot about this page. The storm kept blowing all night. I'm going to read it first. We wondered where Clifford was, and now I'm going to slow reveal. So, like, this is Grandma and Emily Elizabeth in the shelter, right?
Yeah.
But this is what's going on outside the window.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
A Toto in there?
It's quite literally, yeah, like that's a woman on a bike. That's a dude in a boat. This is an umbrella and an outhouse. They're all in the air. Like, those people are dead.
But that's the Wizard of Oz.
That's absolutely, yeah, this is absolutely the Wizard of Oz. But to avoid copyright infringement, they also killed a guy in a rowboat. Like, these people are just blowing out the air.
Wow.
I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see if we can make this metaphor work. Also, I don't know what a civil defense bus is, but it's that. The next morning, the police said we could go back to Grandma's. Like, houses are trash. So this was a hurricane. A hurricane happened.
Full hurricane.
Her house was safe behind a big pile of sand, but we didn't see Clifford anywhere. Surprise!
Oh, great.
Clifford was covered with sand, but Grandma was so happy she gave him a hug anyway. We were all glad to be together again. Thank you, Clifford. The end.
So there's no wrap up on the crater that he left across the street? Because for the amount of sand piled behind the house, there's an equally large hole.
Yeah.
No comment from the cops like, whose boats are these?
It'd be really funny if the last page was them like at their new public swimming pool across the street from Grandma's house, which is the hole he dug, and they turned one of the boats into a bar. And now Grandma's property rate has skyrocketed because Clifford also incidentally made the community more desirable.
The whole thing was a Ponzi scheme.
I mean, let's be clear about Clifford the big red dog. If this, like, Emily Elizabeth got this dog as a puppy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Confirm?
Mm-hmm.
And he kept growing until he was the size of a house.
No, but bigger than a house, like twice the size of the house.
Big enough to protect the house. You would have killed this dog. You would have ended this dog's. You would like, we can't feed him.
Right. This dog has a glandular problem.
Before the dog was big enough to not get into your house, you would be like, we need to end this. He can't even. At this point, the dog's 9 months old. He can't walk through the front door. Like, we're done. We're done.
Or even not that. So let's go back to our script for the live action Clifford. Even not that. Like, let's say there's a very humane family. He's not going to kill a dog no matter what. There's a really awkward period where the dog's like trying to get upstairs.
Yeah, and he can't. And Dennis Quaid is going to play the dad in this movie because we all know he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, well, I guess we got to send him out to the barn. And then Clifford will grow up in the barn.
Yeah. And
then we'll have that jump where we'll see the little girl who at one point was like this little kid and is now played by Bryce Dallas Howard as like a teen. She'll come running out and you're like, Clifford!
Aren't you 40? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not in high heels. Man.
Or you didn't say Jeff Bridges. Who did you say?
I said Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. Or maybe Jeff
Bridges. Like at the budget of this film, Dennis Quaid's who we can get. Because we're putting so much money in the CGI of this Andy Serkis dog.
Right. So or Dennis Quaid's like, well, it's time to do the hard thing, and like takes, horse-sized Clifford out back and shoots him, and then Clifford's like
and then he's like, well, I guess we're moving him into the barn.
Yeah.
And then Clifford's like, no, house. I call the shots now.
It's insane. He could have saved the town by like taking everybody out of the town, except he just took like Grandma and Emily Elizabeth.
Right. That, right, because 8 minutes ago there were like 46 people fishing.
Yeah, fishing off of him.
And I was like,
the wonderful new pier we have, it's rather furry.
You guys get on the civil defense bus. Every people in my house on my back. You guys are stuck.
Man.
Yeah. I
Also,
just like.
don't
What's that?
I just don't believe that like you would go fishing like a day, like on the day that a hurricane was gonna come.
Yeah, these things don't just pop up. It's a big.
But the fish are probably better because they're so whipped into a frenzy. Like, I'm catching marlin out here.
Marlin catching a doghouse with 2 puppies. Catching a couple of boats. I just like 30% of this book is about like protecting property, which is weird. Like Clifford always saves the day somehow, right? But he's always saving the day. Like I don't give a shit about boats or lighthouses or grandma. It's not even Emily's house. It's grandma's house. Like
I feel like in order to make this movie work, at some point Clifford's going to have to decide that he's done with this shit, and he'll be like walking away, and then he'll be like in a town somewhere at like a bar. And he'll see the TV. It's like hurricane hits, and in the like shaky helicopter footage, we'll see Grandma's house.
The bartender
like,
shouldn't you get out there? And Clifford's just like, I'm done with it. I don't do that anymore.
I'm too old for this. And then he'll go back.
It is weird how like they treat Clifford like a Superman dog. Like he's like omnipotent. And like, don't worry, Clifford's got.
He can have sex.
What?
Wait, what?
It's an impotent, omnipotent guys. I have to explain it. It's not my fault.
I only heard sex, and I was like, I want to make sure you landed that joke.
Take every swing. I said.
Yeah, they do put an awful lot of stock in this gigantic dog. To be fair, like you mentioned, he's like a sentient genius dog with opposable thumbs. But they do put an awful lot of stock in, like, Clifford's got this. Let's all get on the civil defense bus. Clifford's going to go fight this hurricane. Grandma's house will be fine. He'll pick up some boats. He'll dig some holes. He'll be fine.
Anybody see my puppies?
Like, there was not even... Can we fit Clifford into... It's just like, Clifford's going to be outside for this hurricane. It'll be fine. He's got it. Clifford's fine. Okay.
Man. At what point does he just become Cliff? Like in the sequel?
Call me Cliff.
At the very end, it's like a walkaway, and he's like...
It's in the movie after he decides that he's had enough of this shit.
Yeah, right.
Like, well,
I'm Cliff now.
Call me Cliff.
Clifford, help us! Clifford, help us! I go by Cliff. Yeah. It's that easy. Man. He's also voiced by Dennis Quaid. So
Dennis Quaid is going to play all the parts. Andy Serkis is going to do the face stuff, but Dennis Quaid's going to voice over.
Have you ever heard the theory that Dennis Quaid's entire career was ruined by Tom Hanks? Because if you track Dennis Quaid's career, Tom Hanks keeps getting all the roles. And Dennis Quaid is like, I'll do that one though. I'll just do the other one.
Well, like, isn't it possible that Dennis Quaid is not as good of an actor as Tom Hanks?
Oh, I don't think it's possible. I think it's true. But I just think that, I'm sure that Forrest Gump, Philadelphia, I'm sure they all slid across Dennis Quaid's desk at some point or another. He could be watching this. And Dennis, if you are, thank you for confirming that I'm right. That's all I'm thinking.
I feel like Tom Hanks gets to pass. And then Dennis Quaid gets the script.
Yeah.
Which is why all Dennis Quaid's movies are like almost inspirational. Because
almost inspirational.
Yeah, like Tom Hanks is like, this is almost good. Give it to Dennis.
Give it to Dennis.
He needs insurance. You guys, we did it. We did a show.
This was fun. Thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry if I talked too much. I was just very excited.
No, that's the point. The point is to talk too much.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
We've been doing this as long as we've been doing this. I feel like we just started.
I know. We're done. We gotta get off air. People gotta go to bed. Carly's got to get up in 2 hours. But thank you for joining us. This was great. We'll do it again. Maybe comment if you like Chris and want him to be back, and if you don't, make sure you just text that to him directly. Tell him how disappointed you are in him. But yeah, that's it. We'll see y'all again soon.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.